tell you. That was nice. Ooh. Got him. Hell yeah. Revenge. Yeah, so sweet. Revenge is so sweet, baby. I can't really see it coming. Come on. Come on. Ah. So that was the case of just lay low and take out as many as you can. Look at that. I still got 8. That's pretty damn good. I'm proud of myself. Yes, y'all, you're watching Bustin' Pixels on the Honest Con Network. I am the third. Welcome to the Honest Con Network, celebrating 16 years of Honest Con. That's right, it's our birthday. August 14th and 15th is Honest Con's birthday. We were born in 2009 as a Comic-Con at Southwest Arts Center in Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, look at you.
Felt like making it into a femme fatale. Got my bad girl out here. That looks really cool with the silver logo across the chest like that and the chains on the belt. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that just like that for her. Yeah, she look badass. I like it. Let's rock. Go get him, girl. Go get him. Go get him, girl. wish I could make a female body that is voluptuous. She's beyond petite. She's like malnourished, zombie style. No. I mean, I've had a couple of girlfriends who were petite, but not dying, not dead. She a straight up zombie up in here, but hell yeah. Speak of voluptuous, I might have to get on and still trying to win the bunny archetype on First Ascended. Talk about body, them girls be stacked. They looking amazing. But it's hard as hell to finish all the missions to get that version. If you know the game, you know what I'm talking about, the First Ascended. There she is. Little Miss Dead. She about to put in work on these fools. Let's get them.
I wish you a good evening.
Oh, yes, that's how you do it, baby. Team, man. We was all a unit, the whole thing. Look at that. Top person got 19. Good gosh. That's putting in work. That's putting in work for real. Man, hell yeah. You gotta get a team like that that want to stay together and back each other up. If you go in and it's like 5 people around you at all times and then, they watching your back, you watching theirs, y'all gonna do some damage. But if you got selfish folk running around, won't ever come near the crew, and that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna never do no real numbers. That was all right. I like that.
Good morning. A good evening to you. Salutations.
Listening to another podcast.
Kang response. Now,
Something I've been doing for a while. Every now and then I'll just like let y'all hear what I'm listening to while I'm playing. But this is a channel, I can't remember if I've ever watched this channel or not, but the brother's name is Emmanuel E-Man. E-Man. Let me see, let me make sure I'm saying the whole. Yeah, E-Man. He goes by E-Man and then Noiset. Yeah, I think I have seen his channel before because he does movie reviews and whatnot. And he's talking about the potential of Kang returning. And I think he's trying to speak on how Jonathan Majors might have a chance of coming back and redeeming the role that he lost due to his legal situation. But let's see what he got to say. I'm curious what he's talking about here.
so we have two things that we'll go into. We have an official Kang response. Now, in case you did not know, ever since Jonathan Majors had been fired by Disney, don't come in the comments talking about Marvel, why you fired him. Disney fired Jonathan Majors. I'm going to say that again because y'all been saying this in comments. And I'm saying it early. Disney, who owns Marvel, they fired Jonathan Majors. So even if Marvel wanted to bring Jonathan Majors back, Disney, their boss, and this is according to the reports, Disney's the one that made that decision. Okay? Let's just be accurate. That's all. So, ever since Disney fired Jonathan Majors, we have not heard anything from Marvel Studios about what's up with Kang, right? I mean, I even told y'all, I met Kevin Feige once. It was at an award show or something. And I mentioned Jonathan Majors. I was like, yo, man, what happened to the Kang gang? Kang gang, what happened? He was like, right? At first, I couldn't tell if he was playing or not, acting like he was, not involved. But then reading the other reports, and they said that Disney was the one that fired him. I'm kind of starting to believe that he also was kind of shocked that they fired him, so just speculating. So we haven't heard anything about what's going to happen with the character. Now, I've already said I'm cool. I could bring him back. If they don't want to bring him back, sucks. But it'd be cool if they recast Kang. And by the way, some people are saying, well, they can't recast Kang because it was in Jonathan Majors' contract. Well, at least from what I've heard from entertainment lawyers and such, if you break the morality clause, which is basically why they're able to fire you if you have some sort of misconduct or whatever, it's basically another clause that if you mess up, you can fire you, right? If you get arrested, go to jail, we can fire you. So that clause annuls Jonathan Majors' contract. So the question of whether or not they can be recast, it is possible. They can recast if they want to. Matter of fact, I just read another report. I'm sorry I don't have it with me right now. But it was saying that for a long time, Marvel was trying to recast until they had the opportunity to just move on to Doctor Doom with Robert Downey Jr. So when they saw that other shiny, they said, man, we're going to stop. So it sounded like, at least from the reports and rumors that I read online, that they could just work with the cast. But they moved on. Look, even though I don't like it, Doctor Doom, Avengers movie, that's an easy $2 billion. Like, people are going to show up for that. The casuals,
you said an easy $2 billion.
They're going to show up for that. So, with that said, before we get to the official Kang response, we actually have a leak. And this leak, it has to do more with what we could have gotten with Kang. Now, I read some of the full rumors and leaks. Again, this is nothing official. This is just something that's been spreading around.
I'm glad you said it that way.
Don't really, but I did feel like at least we can comment on it just a little bit. And I'll give you the gist of it because it's like 7-8 tweets long. We'd be here all night talking about it. But the gist of it was basically the Council of Kang, they break out, and they don't like what the 616 were doing, time travel, all of that stuff. So what they end up doing is they start breaking up and they punish and destroy all these other timelines. Okay, they're punishing all these other timelines based off of what the 616 Sacred Timeline did. So they're going out there and they're killing all the superheroes, they're killing all the mutants, they're doing all this stuff to these other timelines. So imagine they're going to Deadpool, imagine they're going to the Fox Universe timeline, they're going to the Sony timeline, they're going to all these other timelines. Stop it. Now, from what I read in some of the rumors, they were saying that like they were going to gather all these anchor beings from all these different timelines, and they were going to come together and defeat the Kang. And they tried it, and they lost. Didn't work out. Then, of course, you have all these little... And this was supposed to happen in Avengers 5, okay? They were going to break up into...
That's one hell of a leak.
Captain America over there, Sam
Yo, I had to pause that for a minute. I mean, that's an incredible leak, whatever he's talking about. I mean, it just sounds like a fan storyline fantasy gone wild, gone viral. I mean, it's not to say that it cannot be true, but that many details of a plot leaking on that level with Marvel. You know, I'm gonna say this real quick, y'all. If you're new to the channel, understand this. I am an actor, I'm a writer, I'm a producer. I haven't ever written or produced anything on the level of Hollywood SAG union, but I am a SAG eligible actor, and and I've been in the biz now for 11 years. So I've been on Marvel films, proudly been on Marvel films. I was in both Black Panther movies. I showed up in both, especially the first one. Ooh, I'm gonna get this for you. Let me get this for you. Ooh, 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 ooh. He going for it. He got out of there. He's slick. He know how to use his disappearing acts like I do. Did they get him? God, dog it, man. What the? Could y'all please take this thing out? It's out of control. Girlfriend over here blasting to everybody different. Hold on, I got to focus. I know I'm either about to lose or I'm about to get the biggest kill spree in history. Nice. Nice. We did it, team. Uh-oh, here comes some more. Here comes some more. Or is that her respawn? I think that's the respawn, the whole girl. Oh, you ready? When she's stuck, you think you ready? He said, if I tag you, that's all I need to keep living. Ooh, nice. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing it. Usually I'm gonna have to go by now. This is amazing. Triple kill. Do you see the pixel dominating? I've never gotten a dominating. Actually, yes, it's just been a while. Yes, I have. Let me not talk about myself. I'm pretty damn good when I'm on fire. Gosh. Yes. I'm gonna get back on top of that. We're gonna keep talking about it. I'm gonna keep playing what he was saying. If you were in on that and enjoying it, I want to hear it just like you. Oh, boy, you better announce yourself. We winning. We just gotta keep winning. 18 seconds. 18 seconds. Stay low, everybody. Stay low. Ain't got nothing to prove. We already got it. Countdown. 8, 9, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam. Let's get it. But I was going to say, shabam. Yes, victory. I was going to say, with what he's talking about, that's a hell of a leak, man. That's a hell of a leak. Oh, look at me at number 1 with the 10. Shield. Oh, hell yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. But, they don't let leaks like that flow too well in Hollywood. And it sounds to me more like I say, some fan with a big enough voice online put out something and got everybody talking about it. Like, wouldn't that be cool? Now, here's the other funny thing about Hollywood that I know. If it's not a leak from inside, and they get buzz, they get the response buzz of everybody going crazy about a fan concept that is popular enough, they will use your stuff. You ain't gonna never get a dime, but you'll get your little pat on the back on screen, like, yeah, that was a good idea, and we saw it. So here's a wink at you. You know, we'll wink at you. Hey, kids, keep up the good work, giving us great ideas we didn't have to pay for. But please believe. And what can you do? You're playing with their world. There's nothing you can do. It's all copyrighted. So if you say, well, Captain America did this, and then Blade does this, and then at that point, no matter how brilliant your concept, you're entering somebody else's concept, playing with the elements, and if they want to use it, it's not plagiarism, quite frankly. You know. Now somebody might say, no, that's not always the truth. You can do fan art and they can't steal your ideas. Your ideas, if it's based on their ideas, then it's their ideas that you're playing with mixed with your ideas. So yeah, yeah, the copyright holder always wins in real law, not hearsay. Okay. Um, I remember many years ago reading an article about fan art at conventions, and I mean like visual art, like people doing their, just really talented artists drawing other characters that they didn't create from the big companies and stuff. And if they start making enough money, there are lawyers that actually will go to Comic Con and events like that, walk up on their table, and discreetly let them know you have a cease and desist letter. Read this. Sometimes they send it in the mail. If you ignore it in the mail, they'll come and get you in person. Put it on the table. Be like, we're with the with the whatever Disney, Marvel, DC legal team, and you are hereby asked to cease and desist sales of all these items that reflect our characters and intellectual properties, because that's what it is, intellectual property. So, some people think they're smarter than everybody else, don't know nothing about the law and stuff, and I'm speaking on something that's old information. I'm sure it's gotten worse since the time I read that. That was many years ago when I read this article, and it was from the perspective, I think, of the artist who had gotten in trouble, just admitting that he didn't know it could get that serious, but he wanted to share that with other artists to know, hey, I know we all love to redraw other people's cool stuff, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. Just if you start selling it at that point, just know, hey, you can do it, but it can have repercussions. It can get weird. So just don't be surprised. That's all. Simple and plain. Let's see what else he had to say. Let's see.
Wilson, you got Captain Marvel on another team, and all these different versions of mini Avengers were going to go fight a different version of Kang. You were going to have going against Mortis, and you'd have to go against Ramatut, and all these other ones, right? And they still lose. Like, all of them just lose. So just kind of think.
By the way, y'all, this is the E-Man channel, Emmanuel E-Man Noiset, and the name of the video is Marvel finally in all caps, speaks on Kang return after Jonathan Majors firing.
It's very similar to Infinity War. The teams, they try to come together. It's not enough. They end up losing. That was the basic premise with all these leaks. Now, I'm not mad about that. I'm fine with most of those because, in my opinion, I've been saying if you're going to recast Kang, if you're going to bring Kang back, before you jump over to Doctor Doom, which everybody, I think, wants Doctor Doom, at least show us why Kang was the menace that you tried to set him up to be. Again, Kang was not a character that we made up in our heads that was so big and bad. Marvel gave us that. Marvel said this guy destroyed multiverse. So this guy wiped all the Avengers and all these different, like, this guy was a problem. But Marvel also tanked it by letting him get defeated by super ants and Ant-Man. Anyway, we have one little leak here, and I wanted to highlight this part and get y'all feedback on it, and I'll give you my response too. So this one here, let's make it a little bigger for y'all. It says Jonathan Majors had filmed scenes as Kang variant, a Mortis, or Agatha Coven of Chaos back in 2023. So this is before his whole situation. The show was supposed to reveal that Immortus was the author of the Darkhold, the book of spells that corrupted Wanda. And ever since, the scenes have been cut.
Okay, well,
if that leak is true, if it's true, I'm glad that they're not recasting Kang. Because that would have been stupid, in my opinion. No thank you. You mean to tell me that all the dark magic and all the stuff that was going on that came from Kang? No. No. Now, this came from, if I'm not mistaken, Jeff Loveness. Jeff Loveness is the same guy that was writing Ant-Man 3. Nah, bro. If this was part of your idea, bro, I'm actually, you're making me feel better that they moved on. Still think they should bring Kang back. What? So, no thank you to that terrible, terrible idea. Pass. So, we don't have to worry about this. This is kind of like kind of shoulda, woulda, coulda for Avengers 5, but that's done. The Russo brothers, in case nobody knows, the Russo brothers are coming back. They're doing Avengers 5 and 6, Doomsday and Secret Wars, and they also are getting some say on how other shows will be doing things that affect the series. Now, this whole Agatha Darkhold thing, to me, would have been stupid, because the Darkhold has an author. I did a whole video on it when I talked about the Scarlet Witch, but the author is Chthon. Chthon is like this big bad demon in another dimension. Kind of think of like Dormammu, how Dormammu is like in another dimension and all that stuff. Chthon is the author of the Darkhold, and that in itself is a very big story, and I'd rather see that. I'd rather see Wanda, I'd rather see Agatha deal with Chthon, because Chthon is a problem, especially if he comes to the real one. Y'all thought Mephisto was an issue. You don't want to deal with Chthon. You don't want that. Yeah, that's big daddy demon right there. That's a problem. That's a terrible adult star name. Big daddy demon. Anyway, sorry, it's getting late. I'm sorry.
Damn, I need to get my first swing.
But let's get into what Kevin Feige said, because we have the president of Marvel Studios finally giving us an update on what's going on with Kang. And this is the thing. He was asked straight up, no chasing, nothing. Will Kang come back? What's up with Kang? Will he return? What's happening? So let's hear what the boss man has to say.
You know, I've done a number of interviews in the last couple of days. You're the first person to outright ask. I'll give myself credit for trying to evade it and avoid it entirely.
Let me play that again.
Yeah, I'm trying to hear.
I've done a number of interviews in the last couple of days, and you're the first person to, I give you credit for just outright asking the question. And I'll give myself credit for trying to evade it and avoid it entirely.
That's a very Marvel answer. Movie industry answer. What you expect? Oh gosh.
Now, shout out to the interviewer. Shout out to the interviewer for and let me give a little advice to my fellow press, because I feel like being in this game for so long, in this industry, I have learned how to speak Feige-ese. Okay?
Really?
I speak a little Feige-ese.
You do? Wow.
And one thing I have learned is never ask Kevin Feige a yes or no question. It's a waste of time. You don't usually get a lot of time. But that is not the thing to do. I know you think you're going to get a simple answer. Never ask this man yes or no questions.
All right, I see you. Let's get it.
But sometimes you just... Actually, I should say most of the time. But
come on.
If I had to,
damn.
Based off of...
Oh, man.
I watch a lot of Kevin Feige. I've read a lot of his articles. Part of the business, right? He didn't say no.
No, he didn't.
You know, what was that? So you're saying
And
this?
they don't say no. When they put that much money into...
Like, he
hold
didn't
on.
say no.
Let me say this. When they put that much money and time already into a character that's already been introduced, you can guarantee the character will be back. Now, whether or not Jonathan Majors will be playing him or not, it's whatever. Like, people got to understand. It's unfortunate. Extremely unfortunate. But in this biz that I'm actually a part of, not just the press talking about it, okay? I'm the press and I'm the insider, okay? All right, all right. When they decide to make a character, and it's just like when you go to set and you show up in front of that camera, they call that being established. If if you're smart person, and you're a big fan, and you know this already, good for you. But most people don't know these terms. So I know I'm sharing information that's not often said because unless you on a set somewhere doing movies, most people don't know what a stand-in is versus a double. They hear the word double and they think it's the same thing. They don't know what BG means. They know what extra is, but they don't know what a BG is. That that's the same thing, and that true extras in the biz, what we jokingly say is you don't want to ever, even if you are doing BG, you don't ever want nobody to really call you straight up extra. I mean, we still say it interchangeably, but when people say it in a way that's like, oh gosh, the extras, what they really saying is you being the extra extra. You're the one who doesn't know how to act on set. You're the one that doesn't know how to take instructions, be quiet, understand it's not all about you. You're not a speaking actor, but you are important to the scene. So these are all basic things, but man, I'm about to get tore up. These folks on me. Got me jumping into the red smoke. Anyway, but what he said, yeah, you never ask Kevin Feige a yes or no answer question because he's gonna give you something to evade the question. That's the industry way, and especially the Marvel way. They protect their secrets like gold because they understand it is gold. You can't have so many spoilers to the point where they know people are gonna spoil the hell out of it once it comes out. That's what we do. So we all do one way or another. But until it's out, they don't want the secrets out the bag. That's why I know that whole story arc that he shared sounds to me like fan writing. And it's a great fan writing, but I don't think that's legit. And if it is legit, somebody got a piece of something and they took off with it and wrote all the rest of that. Now, as far as back to the reason why a character will be back, like I said, he's been established. Once you've been in front of that camera, you are established. And the only thing they do with established is either of two things. Depending on how important it is to the scene, they get rid of it altogether, or they find a way to reintroduce it. Simple as that. I could make it a whole bunch of other versions, but that's pretty much what it is. The show is out. The show got canceled, unfortunately, so I'm going to speak on this real quick. But when I was on She-Hulk, which was a fun show to me. I liked the show. I don't think it deserved to be canceled at all. I don't understand why it got canceled. I thought it had a lot of potential even in the first season. Could have gotten better and better with time. Could have had a lot of fun cameos. It would have been a show known for fun cameos. After Megan Thee Stallion went on there, I said, okay, this is going to be that show. This is going to be that show people watch just to see who the hell going to show up this year or this episode, But they killed it before they can let it go. I mean, that was a gold mine that they didn't even realize they had. Like, for people who get all into, oh, the plot was weak, that this, that, and the other was weak. I didn't see it. I mean, it was pretty decent. It was, episode to episode, it started feeling like Sex in the City with a superhero lawyer. She was young. She was trying to get her intimate life going. She was a dorky lawyer who nobody would pay attention to until she became She-Hulk. Suddenly she's famous. Guys start paying her attention. She can go out on dates. Yes, it sucks. She's dealing with online dating and all that, which was hilarious to me because I lived that life in this modern age and I know how that must be for a man. So I know what it might be like for a woman. So to see it from a woman's perspective on that show made it really funny from moment to moment with that. And especially the fact that she could be, turn into She-Hulk if she got pissed off. So no, I thought it was a brilliant idea that they just wasted. And you know how things go with fandom. Hell, people say it enough. And I think now that it's kind of back in the news because of the fact people wanted to see her in the Deadpool Wolverine thing, and she made some public statements as an actress, voicing her opinion on the movie, blah blah blah. That might bring it back. I mean, if there's enough fan talk about it, but I don't know. It's a weird time. And for everybody who liked what she had to say, there's equally as many people who seem not to like what she had to say. So never know which way that's going to go. But I will say, when I was on that show, one thing that cracked me up was we did a scene, because I was in the courtroom scenes, BG actor, okay? Featured BG actor, meaning no doubt about it, you can see me clearly. I was not a blur. I was a part of a very important scene at the end of, I can't remember what episode that was, but it's the very end of the episode. She's in court, and the character who, I can't remember her name, and the actress slash personality who's known from England, she's mixed, she's black, she's a brown girl. I don't know what her complete ethnicity is, but she's tall and she's bold and feisty, and she was supposed to be this random villain who She-Hulk had created a beef with and didn't even know she had because the girl was beefing with her online. If you watch the show, you know the character I'm talking about. And she appears, and She-Hulk takes her out. She gets into a fight with her in the courtroom, and she takes her out real quick, and it's the end of the episode. That really, it wasn't the first time that happened to me, but that made me laugh so hard because even though I was lucky enough to still show up, they cut so much out of that scene, y'all. When I tell you, we filmed a whole week to do that scene, and that fight between her and She-Hulk was so much longer and way the hell better than anything they showed on the actual show. It was actually very disappointing, and everybody who was on it with me, we can all attest to the fact, like, the stunt people were doing some stuff that was just absolutely phenomenal, and they cut all of it. You know, everybody still gets paid for their work. They still, but, when you see the artistic process and you see how much stuff they're willing to cut, that's why I laugh at people who think they know and think it's so ridiculous. They would never do this. They would never do that. I don't believe. Whatever you think is a great idea as a fan has shish to do with what ends up on the cutting room floor. Because if people had seen the fight that I saw on set, they would have been like, there's no way in the hell they cutting this scene. It's incredible. It was probably the best battle in the whole episode of that episode. And there were other moments where She-Hulk had to get into it, but that was the best battle, or would have been if they had kept it. And so, like I say, they do what they do. And so when people are around here saying what they won't do and can't do, man, when I say anything and so far from what your imagination can come up with, they will do, they will. They'll cut anything. They'll cut anybody. They'll replace anybody. They'll rewrite any script. It's so much money involved and so many opinions involved. And as long as the money's not in jeopardy, when it comes to the artistic element and decisions being made in that regard, whoever the senior writer is, or whoever's greatest friends with who and wants to help someone grow, and I mean, I've literally seen people who are just the assistant writers end up writing a whole episode on the show because they stuck around long enough, they made well, maybe they kissed up to the right people long enough, whatever the case may be. They went and got the right snack for somebody one day on set when they wanted it. All kind of favors and things lead to opportunities. And that's where somebody's got a role or a writing opportunity or whatever the case may be. So there's a hell of a lot more to it than most. I'm gonna speak like military folks say, civilians will ever know. Like you talk to your military friends, like I got a lot of military friends, and they make you feel real clear that, look, some stuff you don't want to know and you'll never know, because that's why they had to come back and get debriefed, because they know so much and they've seen so much and they had to do so much, and they don't. Some people do well with that, and some people have a hard time taking that stuff to their grave. So when it's just business in a creative space like filmmaking, it can be all kind of weird relationship stuff. And I'm not saying intimate relationships, but sometimes that's a play in it too. I'm saying business relationships that lead to all types of beginnings and ends of stuff that could have been some of the greatest art people ever saw that will never be seen. Simply because in the way the process is set up right now, stuff has a weird life or no life at all. One day it's like, yeah, we're doing that. Come back to set the next day. What happened? They changed everything. They changed everything. You go away for the end of a season, they get new writers, they get a new producer, something happens in the boardroom, and they change everybody. And before you know it, you got a whole new show with whole new villains, whole new every damn thing. That's how it goes, y'all. That's how it really goes, not this opinionated fandom. I wish, I wish, I wish. Yeah, it's fun to listen to. I like to hear what people think. I laugh when I know that they're so far off or they don't understand how things work. That always cracks me up. And it don't matter how long they've been covering it from a press perspective. If you're not in the business, you're not in the business. You're interpreting the business. That's technically what it is when you're just doing these, podcasts and everything that people do about movies and reviews and whatnot. So I always like to share with people that here you're going to get something a little different because I'm in it. So, I'm still going to share only what I can according to NDAs and release dates on projects. But once they're out and once something has gotten old enough for me to speak on what I went through on set and tell some good stories, you're going to get some real different stuff over here. So stay tuned and hit that subscribe button. You feel me?
Because think of it like this. Think of it like this. When he was asked, hey, what are the plans for Eternals 2? Yeah. Y'all remember what he said about Eternals 2? There are currently no plans for Eternals 2. He said it.
Do you want to invest but don't know where to start? Check out the Weeble app.
Okay.
An easy-to-use trading
Talking
platform
about
that allows
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Got no plans
Turtles.
for Eternals.
Oh, Eternals. I thought he was
They
saying
might show
Turtles.
up.
I was like, what is he talking about?
So,
Turtles
what that
ain't
tells
Marvel.
me is he doesn't have a
Eternals.
problem letting you know if something ain't moving. But the fact that he don't want to answer nothing about Kang,
Eternals.
It sound
Eternals.
like bro, you telling me this man got a chance?
He said Eternals. It sounds like he's saying turtles to me. I'm sorry, bro. Got an accent.
Put two and two together.
Put it together, bro. Put it.
So I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I'm not gonna hold my breath. But if you want to throw Colton Domingo still in there, we'll be mad. If John Boyega changes his mind, I ain't gonna be mad. If we happen to get Denzel to do this one role, I'm not gonna be mad.
You funny.
So I'm going to look at this as not a no and a small possibility. Because again, the fact that he wants to avoid the question entirely, why avoid it unless there's something there? Because you could easily just be like, nothing, no. You could just say that. He could have just lied straight up, but the fact that he wants to avoid it, bro, you don't avoid things that aren't there. So I'm going to lean towards we might see a return for Kang. I think so. Might not be Jonathan Majors, but Kang could come back. Which I think that this would be a better idea to bring the character back, let him run some havoc, let Doom come in, take over, be like, I'm the real big bad around here. That would be fine. And yes, I do believe Denzel because one of my beliefs is that, why bring Denzel in for this? I don't think Denzel would be the type of actor at this stage in his career that he would really want to do this for the long term. I think Denzel, if I would say, excuse me, Mr. Washington, we would love to bring you in for one role. Just one role, one time. If you like it, you can always come back. But this one role in the big Avengers 5 movie, have him be the owner of all the things. Have him be the one in charge. Okay. By the way, they do have some great CGI at Marvel. It'd be really dope if they made the Kang Council all look like younger, different versions of Denzel. Throughout his career. I think that'd be kind of cool. And you have that Kang come in, do the thing that was reported in the leaks, where he comes in, he's knocking over things, he's taking over, defeating all the all the Avengers, X-Men, all of that. And then at the end, Doom comes in and be like, nah, my time now. Bye-bye. One time, you cannot sit here and tell me that if Robert Downey Jr. gonna get y'all put in the seat, that Denzel Washington as Kang the Conqueror would not get in the seats as well. Are you kidding me? We just went from $2 billion to $2.5 billion. Well, $4 billion. Let's give it $2 billion. Where y'all gonna put a boy $2 billion? Call up Denzel, off this man, and at least $25 million because you gonna make it back. Do you think we gonna show up? I know we showed up. We all wasn't even thinking about Gladiator 2 until you saw Denzel in that trailer.
Absolutely.
When you saw Denzel, y'all was like, you know what? Down with roll. Everybody changed their mind when Denzel's involved.
Oh, pause for the cause. So he's absolutely right about Gladiator. And I literally let that one slip through. I had a video I was editing to be a short, to be my reaction. But so many people had already said the same thing I already said. I just didn't want to be completely cliche and just be like, oh yeah, we definitely going to see Gladiator because we see Denzel up in there. Black folk gonna support that every time, always. And they know that. They know it's a cash grab with one of the greatest actors, period, of all time. Not just because he's black, but just literally one of the greatest actors of all time. Straight up. And we're proud of that. So we're always gonna support Denzel films. Talk that stuff. Get off of me. Come on. Damn, they surrounded me. 3 or 4. But I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but I don't really think. I think that's complete fan talk about Denzel taking over as King. That's just. I mean, and things like that do help get people cast. If enough fans say they want it and they need it will happen. But what I've learned too about this biz and about racism, okay, if fans you got enough racist fans who are getting tired of seeing Denzel be awesome as he will always be. They just don't want to see a black man be that powerful again. In any role, even when he's the villain, they just don't want to see that kind of power. And if enough people are saying that, they cater to that audience too. They look at everybody's audience like it's an audience. Racist or not, they like, yep, we're going to make money off of all these folks. And we're going to cater to all of them. It's the Highland, I keep saying Highland, Homelander. I always make that, I'm in the habit from generations of hearing the Highlander film. It's coming on again on TBS tonight. I swear. But no, Homelander from The Boys was a complete jackass of a character and a total Nazi prick. But they know that there's enough really psychotic ass people out here and that are following that kind of nonsense and loving every minute of it. So they put him in Mortal Kombat. They put him in all types of major mess on the show to make the show more popular and more controversial. And it's working. It's working. Like it or not, it's working. I think the show The Boys is brilliant in many ways. I also think that character needs to eventually be put down because you can't. I feel like in heroizing that kind of evil presence, but making it at the same time seem cool can be dangerous for some people not realizing they're making a spoof of this, not really championing it. But for those who really feel like, yeah, that's my hero, someone like that, as far as they're concerned, it's literally just that. So now, marketing-wise, hey, it helps the ratings go up. I mean, like, The Boys makes fun of what literally happens. It's all about ratings and everything like that. So You can look at the concept of that show and look at how Hollywood is working, and it'll all make sense to you. Dang, why did they do that again? I thought they didn't want that image for what? Hey, was it making money? Okay, they'll be controversial for the sake of money. Damn, we lost that one by 5. Wow, deep. But I just don't think that Denzel. I mean, if they're gonna bring Denzel into Marvel, they need to save that for like Black Panther 3. He needs to play like an elder on the council in Wakanda 3. That's my personal opinion on that. I don't think he needs to be no King the Conqueror or nothing like that. Just leave all of that alone. Let somebody else be all up in that. And if they really were smart, I think they could still bring back Jonathan Majors. Like if they gave the man his job back. Redemption is a huge sell at the box office because even for people who think he's guilty and hate him because of that, they're gonna go see it just because of that. And then you're gonna have everybody else cheering for him having the opportunity to come back. That's what they need to do. But anyway, let's hear what else E-Man has to say here.
Listen, I feel like that'd be a winning idea. But anyway, guys, do let me know, what did you think about this supposed leak of Kang being the author of the Darkhold? What did you think about Kevin Feige's official response on Kang, non-response, whatever you want to call it? And what do you think about my little pitch? Hey! If anybody out there starts taking this pitch, y'all let them know. It came from me. Y'all please don't let them take this now. But what do you think about Denzel as Kang? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.
Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you.
And you heard the man, like we all say, subscribe here, subscribe there, support his channel, check him out. He cool, peoples. I like how he presents. I'll go ahead and subscribe my doggone self. See, that's how it's done, folks. When I'm utilizing his content to help make my content. I gotta support him, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe, let's go. Subscribe. Plus, he a brother and he well spoken and he's got some cool ideas. I don't have to always agree with him or whatever. It ain't about that. It's fun. It's relative. It's definitely in the wheelhouse of what one of the many main elements of Honest Con is about. At our core, we were a Comic-Con, so we gonna always love this type of stuff. So it is what it is. And with that, you know what? We're gonna shut this one on down. Peace.